This meeting is being recorded.
Go, go.
Get to your introduction.
All right. See if I get my presentation back up here again.
The other trick with the Zoom is that when you're sharing, trying to get the Zoom to share what you want it to share. It was sharing his browser and he didn't want to share the browser. He wanted to share his slideshow.
Yeah. We'll get it eventually. Okay, I'm sure you're seeing all this now, right?
Nope, we're just seeing
We're
you.
just seeing your face, yeah.
All right, hold on.
I guarantee it's worth the wait to what you're going to get to hear today.
Well, let's hope.
I've had a pleasant experience on this Chromebook that I took home to try out for a while here. Adam Jr. uses one for school every day, don't you, buddy?
There we go.
Hey, we got something.
Finally. All right, good evening, everyone. And I sincerely apologize for all the hiccups. But as Judy Toulour has said, and I think John Kennedy, you've heard him say that too, we give these with warts and all. So today we've had lots of warts. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the Chromebook. And I entitled this presentation Chromebooks for Geeks because I think it has a unique niche within our computing world. So let's say you need a new notebook for everything from gaming and keeping up with social media and perhaps doing a little homework. Well, up until a few years ago, I think most people thought Windows was the machines were the best laptops. But I'm going to prove to you or show you this evening how Chromebooks have really caught up with Windows machines, and they are really a viable competitor for many buyers. There's some advantages. They have size, weight, and security apps, performance, battery life. Um, uh, there's advantages and disadvantages. On the other hand, Windows laptops and Chromebook appear to be getting closer and closer to each other's strengths while reducing their weaknesses. Chromebooks are affordable. Hardware requirements are not as demanding as a Chromebook for a Chromebook as it is for a PC. They can run on lower powered processors and they demand less memory, giving them the advantage of being less expensive. So here's two comparisons. This is an HP 17.3 laptop. It's rather large with an Intel Core i3 processor, 8 gigs of memory, 512 solid state drive with Windows 11 Home, and it's advertised to be $599. On the other side, there's an Acer 2022, their newest Chromebook, same size. It has a 1080p widescreen display, and it has an Intel Celeron processor, 4 gigs of RAM, and it's $279. Now, what I'm saying here is that these are equal in a lot of ways. Is that being the Chromebook doesn't demand a higher powered processor, it'll run as well or better than that HP. So what is a Chromebook? Well, it's a lightweight laptop that depends heavily on Google Chrome, which is the operating system. While you have operating specific features like file manager, app launcher, taskbar, and so on, most of your work and play resides within the Chrome tab. So in other words, the the operating system really is web-based. It's going to run in a browser. So what this translates is low overhead, enabling super fast startup and snappy performance, even on the most low-end hardware. So in my opinion, it's the ultimate couch computer. Core functions that most people are interested in is like all pure Android installs. It comes with Google services like Gmail, YouTube, Maps, and Docs. You can install web-based Chrome apps from the Chrome Web Store and Android apps from the Google Play Store. Many require an internet connection, but some of them can run offline. Uh, Chromebooks really are primarily designed for use while connected to the internet, and you sign in with your Google account. Rather than install traditional applications such as a word processor and instant messenger, users add web apps such as from the Chrome Web Store or the Google. And Google also claims that a multi-layer security architecture eliminates the need for antivirus software. While Chromebooks are designed to be used when connected to the internet, users are able to connect Google apps such as Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Keep, Google Drive in offline modes. Chromebooks also come with a built-in local music player, a photo editor, a PDF, and Microsoft Office document viewer that functions without internet access. To break down what the files and programs that you'll find, or apps that you'll find on a Chromebook, first is the Google Chrome, and that's the browser, and it allows you to view your web pages and perform most tasks for you on your Chromebook. Another application is called Files. This app allows you to manage your files on your Chromebook, Google Drive account, any external media you have plugged in. You have Google Docs, Google Drawings, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, as well as Google Forms. That makes up what is referred to your as or is the equivalent of the Office, the Microsoft Office suite. And additionally, you have Google Maps, and then the Web Store, which is where you will get the Google Pacific or Chromebook Pacific applications. And then the Google Play Store is where you can run your Android apps. Now I'm going to give a demonstration after we do some of this preliminary and kind of give you an idea of what the Chromebook actually looks like in real life. So just hang tight here. The Play Store will give you additional, this is a recent addition, and it appeared with the later versions of Chromebooks, which allowed you to actually be able to use the Android apps that you find on your phone. Most of them, unfortunately, are just games. A lot of the other productivity ones are have not quite made it to the store yet, such as phone apps and things like that. You'll find a lot of games in this that are set aside for the for Chrome in the Google Play Store. But it does expand the platform. It gives you a bunch of things that you can go and look for and perhaps find something that is of interest that you use on your phone. So if your Chromebook was introduced after 2017, you can run the Android apps. Now, one of the things that's interesting about Chromebooks is the keyboard. That's the first thing that you'll notice that's going to be different. instead of the usual number of function keys like F1, F2, etc., uh, Google has substituted a row of various dedicated keys in their place. So you keep in mind these can differ somewhat depending on the age and model of your Chromebook. In fact, you will probably not have all the keys that I've listed here. The list are from left to right is the escape key, and this usually gets you out of trouble. The back key is an arrow to go back one page, and then the next key will go forward one page. You have a little circle here that has the refresh, and then you have what's referred to as the full page. It's a square with a small out-facing arrows, and it'll toggle the current page to take up the full screen. Then the next key you have is called Show Windows, and it's a square with two lines to the right, and it shows all open windows on the screen. If you have more than one virtual desktop, they will be shown on the top of the screen. And then the next key you have is the brightness down, brightness up. There's a play and pause. You also might find a mute button, and you have a lower volume and raise volume. And then the last one will be a lock screen, which will allow you to lock your screen. Between the tab and the shift keys, you have something that looks like a search key, and they call it a launcher key, but in more recently, they've called it the anything, the everything button. And then on some Pixel books, you might find the Google Assistant. So it just depends on the brand of Chromebook that you have. But the keyboard is something that you will have to adjust for. Now, you can go out and map these keys to be more conventional. There are all kinds of tutorials on YouTube, as well as if you Google it, you'll find instructions where you can make the keys more in a more familiar format. So let's talk about stretching the limits of Chromebooks. They have their strengths, but they also have their weaknesses. I think we talked about that. And the biggest flaw, of course, is their inability to run traditional desktop software. However, that's changing. It is possible to run Microsoft Office and other software that are web-based. And there are also plenty of Android and Chrome OS apps that can fill the niches typically taken up by Windows or Mac OS desktops. And if you're a prolific Google product user, all those services and apps are intertwined with the Chrome OS, and they work well with it. But the problem lies with those who want and need more than that from their Chromebooks. For instance, if you have maybe some particular photography expectations. But one of the things that you can do that I find works really well is using the Chrome extensions. And these would be the same ones that you find on Windows. And if you have your Chrome browser synced with your other devices, you'll find that you will be able to use a lot of those those applications if you're using your browser on your Chromebook. So if you're looking for something to they can emulate a desktop experience because the Chrome browser is part and parcel of the Chrome operating system. So web extensions designed for the browser also will work in the operating system. And so they literally extend the capabilities of your Chromebook. So we'll talk about both the Chrome extensions, as well as the ones that are available from that are in Microsoft Edge. We'll get to that in a minute. But turning your couch potato computer is like couch computer into a powerhouse with extensions. So Chromebook specifications often seems weak compared to Windows laptop counterparts, but that's because they don't need to be super powerful. The Chrome OS was never intended to run desktop software or Android apps for that matter. Your Chromebook starts new and stays new over time. You get automatic updates in the background. Your device gets the latest software without interrupting you. So the three Chrome extensions that are important to turn your computer into a powerhouse are one would be the Google Remote Desktop and the Microsoft Office extensions, and well as what's referred to as real-time tab sync. So the Remote Desktop is a Chrome browser extension that you can add, and that will actually allow you to remotely connect and control other devices uh, using your Chromebook. In other words, you'd be able to log on to your Windows desktop from your Chromebook using the Remote Desktop. It was developed by Google, and you can use it with an Apple Mac or Windows machine, as well as Android and iOS portable devices. So that's something that you can consider doing. The Microsoft Office extension allows you to use the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, and OneDrive from your Chromebook. And the extensions has all the traditional Microsoft applications, Microsoft account, and then it will give you access to all of these web apps. And they're saved to OneDrive. So if you're using your Chromebook and you save it to OneDrive, you can log on to your Windows machine into OneDrive and retrieve those and download them to your PC if you so desire, or just leave them in the cloud. The real-time sync is where the tabs that are in your browser, you can sync those to the Chrome browser on your Chromebook. And so whatever changes, whatever things you do within the browser, you can sync those, and they will also appear in your browser on your other machines. And you enable that in the Chrome settings. And you can toggle that on and off and use it. If you want to open a new tab, it will start a new tab and sync those tabs from another computer or a previous session in the background. If you choose to continue where you left off, it will, if you leave one machine and go to the other, you can pick up those pages. One of the things that people talk about as photo editing, is it really for Chromebooks? Well, and they ask, can I use Photoshop? Well, the answer is no, or at least not the full version. But that doesn't mean you can't do photo editing. There are other tools that are available that maybe not as powerful as Photoshop, but they work fairly well. And one of those is Plexar. You can do photo editing on your Chromebook using this tool. Another one is the Polar Photo Editor. And it allows you to retouch photos, do other things. It also was offered at a more reasonable cost, but from what my understanding now, it's the prices changes. Um, um, but from reviews I've read, they say it's really worth it. So I don't know. I've not used it, but I'm passing it on as an option for you to explore. And I'm sure there's a trial version you can try. Um, Adobe apps are, you can use those as well if you use them through the browser interface. And more recently, Adobe Acrobat has now become part of Edge. So that's, you can use that as well. So the Microsoft Edge and Microsoft Edge extensions, and what you need to do, you install Edge as a Linux app and use Microsoft Edge to sync your Edge extensions to your Chromebook. And here you can use the Adobe Acrobat. I also had Bitwarden as an extension on my Chrome browser, I mean, on my Edge browser, and it brought it right over to my Chromebook. Of course, you can use Chromebooks for watching movies. It's a great tool for that. Android apps like Skype and Google Assistant are available. And of course, there's all kinds of shortcuts that you can learn, and you can get those from, as I said, using Google, and you go out and find out what they are. Chromebooks have virtual desktops. You can, like Windows and Macs, they have a native ability to create new virtual desktops, so you can multitask. And there's a little bit of learning curve how to do that. You can use your 3 fingers to swipe down on your touchpad or trackpad, and alternately you can press the Show Windows button or F5. I didn't mention that. It's that from left to right, beginning with the Escape key, you can, beginning with the left arrow key, you can number those as F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, and they will correspond, and you could relate to those in that way. And you possibly, if you like, you could probably remap those. But I think if you do that, you probably lose some of the functionality of the traditional Chromebook experience by trying to emulate a Windows format onto those keys. And here's an example. You can see where the multiple desktops are at the top. And then this window really looks very similar to a Microsoft Windows PC, but this is actually a Chromebook. And you can use a snap screens left to right like you like in Windows. You can have a browser open on the left and the Google Docs open on the right, but there's no stacking of floating windows. Screenshots are just done by using the Control key plus the switch window, which corresponds to the F5. It's that one that's the square with the 3 little dots. That'll give you a screenshot. So the things that I really like about Chromebooks is one is the security. Chromebooks have what they call a method of it's always being updated frequently, so it stays a step ahead of the hackers. Typically, most Chromebooks have a long battery life from 8 to 9 hours, and of course, the startup time is instantaneous because when you open the screen, once you get past the log on, it just automatically downloads everything from the internet. Size and weight is a really positive factor because they have fewer parts, like not having most of them have solid state drives. They're thinner and lighter to carry around, so they're ideal for taking on trips or using them on the patio or wherever that you carry them because they're just really light and they have a long battery life, so you're not really saddled by having to carry a lot of adapter cards or anything like that. Chromebooks can renew themselves with something called power wash. And if you find yourself in a situation where the machine is not working properly, you can just use power wash, and within minutes, it will clean your files and bring it back the way it left from the factory. And since most of everything is stored on the cloud, when you log in with your Google account, everything should come back as it was previously. Um, there's a couple things within the Chrome OS. If you like living on the bleeding edge, you can test different things. There's 3 channels. There's stable, and that's the one that's the official release version. Then there's the beta and devs channels. So the stable channel is the one that's fully tested, and it's usually updated every 2 to 3 weeks with minor changes, and every 6 weeks for major changes. The beta channel allows you to view upcoming changes and improvements with a low risk, and it's updated roughly every week with major updates coming every 6 weeks, more than a month before the stable channel gets them. And then you can test the latest features by using the dev channel, and it's the one that is mostly experimental, where they're trying new things that may not go into production. Um, so there's not too many things that really can go wrong with a Chromebook, other than what I told you. Um, where you can use the power wash, but there are, it does have some flaws, and most common those um, can have some interesting outcomes. Um, but nothing that's really serious. I think we experienced some of that today when I was faced with the problem of using this latest version of the Zoom software, which is not exactly like the one that you find on your Windows machine. Some of the uh, it's not the controls, but some of the instructions were different. But if you find that your Chromebook runs slow, you can just restart and see if that helps. If it keeps restarting, then there's a problem with the operating system. So if that happens, you need to perform a full recovery, which will save as much data as possible. Some of the things that some people have identified as I tried updating my Chromebook, but received an error. To resolve this, start by checking your internet connections. And you'll want a strong Wi-Fi because, or Ethernet, because the machine uh, runs off the web or the internet. Um, um, if you have other problems, just try rebooting. Um, if you can't sign in and you get different error messages, um, what I would suggest is using Google's handy walkthrough by dealing with those errors one at a time. And when the error occurs, you'll find Google will try to walk you through each problem until it's solved. Um, Printers used to be an issue, but I think that is really becoming less so. I bought a new printer myself recently, and I had no problem getting it connected uh, with my Chromebook. It's a HP, and it seemed to be it just recognized it, so that was no problem getting it to work. But there are some cloud print alternatives that you can use. If you have an older Chromebook, you might try using those. Bluetooth is always an issue for a lot of machines um, because of the standards changing. Um, you might want to look at the latest drivers that available from the manufacturer, perhaps. That might clear up the problem. If you're using Word docs and you switched to a Chromebook and having trouble accessing, there are several workarounds. You can use Google Docs, but the best option, if your Chromebook will allow it, is just download the Microsoft web apps. Now, one of the things that you have to be cautious about on a Chromebook, particularly if you buy a used one to try it out, is that they do have an end of life. And to find out what the dates are, you'd have to go to additional details in settings, and it'll tell you the update schedule. It'll say that the machine will continue getting automatic updates and security updates on us from to us up until a certain date. Um, if your machine is out beyond that, that doesn't mean it won't work. You just won't be getting the latest software and security updates, but the machine will still function. But that's something to be aware of when you get ready to buy one. And it has nothing to do with the date that you purchased it. That's from the store. This is hardwired into the operating system that is going to be viable up until this particular date. So just keep that in mind. But according to Google, they guarantee if you buy a new one that it's going to be a minimum of 6.5 years of updates after the product's original release date. And so so in summary, I like my Chromebook because it does make great use of the Google services, and there's really a very next to no learning curve, other than what I told you about the keyboard. Um, Most people can pick it up and start using it immediately, mainly because it looks like a browser, and if you're familiar with browsers, it's very easy to to get started. I wrote this earlier. I said you can't work comfortably on a Chromebook without leaning on Windows PC for support. I don't think that's really a true statement anymore, because Chromebooks for the most part are standing on their own, and I really think you need to rely on a PC to provide additional support. I think you can use it as a standalone device. And here's some of the resources that I used to come up with this information, plus my own personal experience. And now what I'm going to do is get out of this, and I'm going to show you some things about the Chromebook itself. Close all my screens. Okay, this is a desktop. And if you notice at the bottom, this is what's referred to as the tray, taskbar in Windows language. The icon on the far left side is referred to as the launcher. So when I click on this, I get all the applications that are installed on my Chromebook. A lot of these will be already installed when you get it out of the box. But as you add other applications, you'll find them to be at the end of the row. But you can move these around if you want to move them to another location, just like you can in Windows. So you
Bill, we kind of lost you.
Where is additional settings and details?
Is Bill still on the call at all?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's still on the call.
it looks like it lost its camera too.
Oh, it's Chromebook.
Yeah, while he was sharing, we usually turn off the cameras.
Oh,
While we're waiting for Bill to come back, I can tell you guys a few notes about what I learned testing this Chromebook that Denison University donated to us. If you guys just want to hear a few things here. There is a Linux developer mode that you can enable from the settings. It gives you a Linux command line. I think it's Debian, and it allows you to install Linux applications if you know how to do so from the command line, even desktop applications, and then they'll show up in your desktop menu on Chrome just like they were native applications, even though they're full-blown Linux GUI applications, and that seemed to work very well.
This
I'm sorry.
meeting is being recorded.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Let me go back to where I was. As I said, this is the launcher, and this is where all your applications will be.
You're not sharing now.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my
There we-
screen?
Yep, we're good now.
All
So
right.
you left off where you were moving icons in the launcher.
Right. So you can move icons in the launcher and organize this however you want them to be. The very top part of this, as you notice, it says continue where I left off. These are ones that I had recently used. So they will appear here, and then below here are the ones that are actually installed. So there's a fine line here between this lower section and the upper section. And of course, this is your search, where you can search your tabs, files, and apps, and more, just like you would in a Windows machine. And then this little area right here, this is your Google Assistant, where you can use it to help and there's a microphone here where you can also just tell it, it'll then do things for you. As you notice,
Sorry, I don't understand.
see, it's picking up my voice. So I could say, play music perhaps, and it would start playing. I'm not going to use the G word. And then at the bottom, to get back, I can just click on this and that'll take me back to the Google search. And as you can see, I have I'm now in Chrome. So what it did, it brought up another tab.
Hey, Bill, if you can hear us, I think we lost you again. While we're waiting for Bill to come back, I'll share another Chrome fun fact that I learned with this loaner here. If you have network file shares at your home on Windows or Linux or anything, you can access those from the Files application on Chromebook, just like you could on Windows. Also, I noticed the keyboard doesn't have a delete button. So if you like a delete button, you have to use the Alt key, and the backspace replaces the delete button. So that takes a little getting used to. And there's no right click on it either. You have to use the Alt key, and just the regular touchpad is your right click.
Question for you. You made a comment about 6.5 years. Did you look up, see how much time you got left on that one?
Yeah, this one was donated, and I looked after he said that because I didn't know that was an option. It's June 2026, so just less than 3.5 years.
Oh, okay.
That's when this one stops getting
That's when
official
this one
updates. Yeah. So I mean, for being donated to the Computer Society
Oh, yeah.
of Denison, that's.
But I wondered what that was.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, Bill's back again.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know.
Might be the Wi-Fi and the way the Chrome works. Like when you change tabs and stuff, it kicks out your Zoom partly.
All right. I'll share my screen again. Okay. And then along the bottom, as I said
Okay,
before.
you're not sharing. It's still not sharing.
All right, hold on. Okay. Now, can you see it?
It's coming. We still have the screen that says has started screen sharing, so hasn't got to us yet.
Yeah, I'm still seeing a black screen on mine.
You see a building or anything or
No, just a black screen.
hold on a second.
Still the black screen here. Now, these are Zoom problems, not Chromebook problems.
Right. These are Zoom.
That is Zoom
Good try.
because it's being used by Chromebook.
Yeah, yeah.
If it was a Linux or a Windows computer, it might.
Yeah, hold on, let's see.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Too
I'm
good.
gonna stop sharing again. And I see you guys.
Mhm. We can see you.
Now I see the APCUG logo,
Yeah, that's me.
and then that's John. I see him. All right, so I'm gonna start share again. Go for the entire screen. Oh, wait, I know what I did wrong. Entire screen. Okay, so now I'm going to
Nope, did-
minimize this.
Nope, we're still not seeing.
I've got a question.
Go ahead, I can answer that.
You said it's only good for 3.5 years
6.5.
or 6.5?
6.5.
Okay, and that's, you can't go beyond that?
You can't get it.
Well, that's kind of an estimate, actually. It depends on when you purchase the machine. In the, if I could get, in the additional information, it'll tell you the exact date. I can share it if I can get this to share. Let me
Yeah.
try this again.
I tried something by me stopping your sharing to see if that will get you completely out.
Okay,
Another
Hang on.
question is Chrome operating system. I've heard that it can be used on old laptops. Is that correct?
that's true. There's a program that you can download called Flex
Mhm.
and install that on an older laptop. And it allows you to be able to use Chrome, the Chrome operating system, similar to what you all are doing with old laptops and Linux.
It's still in beta, but it's supported on a lot of machines already.
Okay.
Right.
Is that put a 6.5 year date on it?
No.
No, that's only for the manufactured machines.
Okay.
All right, so let's see.
Nope, I'm clueless as to why the Chromebook's not coming through.
I'm going to try minimizing my screen again. So you see a black screen?
No, we don't see a black screen. We see the screen that tells us that you are starting your sharing, but it hasn't gone through to what we're supposed to see.
And it worked before.
Mhm.
I'm gonna close some of these tabs.
So maybe we should get some old computers and try that on some of them.
Good.
Got a bunch of old laptops.
We do.
Can you run that on that Chromebook OS on a computer?
I haven't tried it, but it seems pretty simple. It creates a flash drive from Chrome browser on Windows. Can't do it on Linux, but you can do it on Windows.
It kicked you back out.
You guys want me to try sharing my desktop on this Chromebook?
Yes.
Yeah, try that and then Bill can talk about yours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay.
All
See-
right.
So it must be kicking you in and out because it keeps telling you that we're recording.
Yeah, it keeps kicking me out. And I'm not so sure. But what I'm going to stop. One of the things that I was going to share with you.
Attention to me.
Stop. Oh,
Man, you're really mouth, boy. We're gonna have problems. Hey, you just go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
No,
I'm garbage.
the back door is open. He can go out if he wants to.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take that as my hint also. Be right back.
Yeah, I think the one thing that to understand about the end of life is the end of life is based on when the Chromebook was built. Okay, Bill, you're sharing.
No, that's me.
Oh, okay. Fake me out there. Is when it was built. And you could keep using it, but it's a set time limit. But there are people who are still using XP, I think, way
Not me.
beyond. That's who I was referring to. Okay, so now you can kind of see what Adam's
Yep.
little test went out.
You can see the Chrome browser. Bill, let me know if there's anything you want to see on here.
Oh, there we go.
I was showing the option to enable Linux and to do the reset. We're on the same screen. You can make any website basically a pin down here and it shows up as an app, like YouTube, for example. It does pretty good at playing 1080p videos. Most of the time, you need to have a really good wireless signal to do that. Like Bill was saying, you have access to the Android Play Store. So if you have an Android phone, just about any app you have on your Android phone works on here. For example, I've got my Whirlpool app that tells us when the washer and dryer is done. So if I'm watching YouTube on here and I need to do the laundry, it'll pop up and tell me that laundry needs to come out of the dryer. So that's pretty handy. Got my Plex media player app hooked up to my server at home. And I even have this Tailscale app that lets me connect to my home server from the internet using the same device. So that's another good thing Chromebooks are for is if you have a system at home with a web interface like Unraid or any type of Linux server, you can access it from your Chromebook and manage your server from the comfort of your bed or whatever. Now, either one. Depends how your partner feels about you managing your server from bed.
Yep.
And of course, you can see everything else on here is basically just the default Chrome stuff, default Google stuff. I haven't really installed anything else. Spotify. Oh, and even if you don't have Linux enabled, I think you still have access to the terminal. That might require, oh yeah, if you want to use the terminal, it requires you to set up Linux.
I will let everybody know that we've lost Bill again. And I think part of it is that Wi-Fi is not the greatest friend with Zoom.
I'd agree.
Yeah, and
Although I am using Wi-Fi
oh,
here.
Bill's back again.
Recorded.
Welcome, Bill. I'll stop sharing.
Okay. All right. Do you have your, why don't you share your Chromebook? Let's see, let's try it this way. And then I will just talk from there.
Yep. Okay.
You can be a ventriloquist, and Adam can be your dummy.
Yeah.
I'm everybody's dummy. Can you guys see my screen? I think you can.
Yeah. But we don't like looking at the Zoom screen because it keeps showing us.
Yeah. All right, Bill, take it away.
All right. So go back to your to the launcher. And then go up to settings. And then down where it says advanced. And then scroll down and you'll find it'll say on the right side, it'll say additional additional.
I know what you're talking about. If you go down here and click on About Chrome OS, it'll show additional details.
Right, additional details. And then
till June 26th.
it says this device will get automatic software and security updates until June of 2026. So after that, it's out of date. Machine is still usable, but you are unable to, get the latest updates and stuff like that. But that won't make the machine not work.
I'm surprised
thing
that I was gonna say I'm surprised that Dennison would let go of a machine that still had almost 3 years of use ahead of it.
I think it must have been a mistake because this one's in perfect condition and they didn't wipe it. It still had some girl's profile on it when I
Whoops.
Yeah, I did the reset to factory settings, which like Bill said was very, very quick.
The power wash, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so now if you would do this, I want you to go to the Chrome browser. And then up in the, and you can take this off. I just want to show, type in Microsoft Edge. And you want to go to the Microsoft official site. No, up there at the top.
Well,
The very top. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was doing it without the
all right, go ahead.
So
and then you want to go to the one that's the blue button up here on the right side. Well, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's the exe.
Yeah, what we want to do is get to the page that has all of them. Maybe this white button will work.
Nope, that's not it either.
Now come down some. I don't think I think you're going to have to get it from the Microsoft. There's another button that shows all of them. Go back to that page that we're on. That was the correct page. Just have to find the right button. Scroll down some more. So I was just in here earlier. Oh, where the menu button is? Yes, there you go. Now come down all the way. And then here where it says Linux, download for Linux, Deb, click on that. No, back,
Oh, right here.
yeah. And then accept.
Yeah, I didn't know that Chrome could use a Debian install file. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna put it, and also will, you'll see it in your launcher now, you'll find the terminal as well.
Yeah, I don't have Linux enabled on this one right now, so it might take a while to actually.
Well, it'll go ahead and do it for you. All right, so very top one right there, just click that. And just wait a second.
Failed to retrieve app image.
Okay, cancel and try it again. Okay, cancel that. What's the second one? That's not the correct one. That was the Windows one.
We could install Edge through the Play Store if you want to do that. Maybe.
I didn't realize it was there. I know the Bing search engine is there and OneDrive, but I don't think Edge is.
Ah, okay.
But I didn't have to enable Linux on mine. It just automatically. See, there's the terminal right there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not enabled, and if you set up Linux, it takes quite a while to set up, like longer than the amount of time that we have available
Okay.
on here, but it takes quite a while. This is a pretty low spec machine.
All right. But anyway, you can run the thing about running Edge is that it gives you some additional capabilities and running those extensions. So that will expand your the scope of the machine. It'll give you some additional features that will allow you to be able to use the Chromebook for some other applications. Particularly, it's like of course, Edge has a built-in PDF reader. And so if you want to be able to do PDFs, you can use that to run it. And then recently, Microsoft has decided to partner up with Adobe. So now the Adobe Acrobat is can be used for editing and a lot of other things that you get with Adobe Acrobat that you don't get with the Edge.
For free?
Pardon?
For free?
Yes. Now you're just getting the basic Acrobat, not the full-blown version. But currently, Edge will read PDFs, but they don't allow. They have very limited capabilities as far as editing. But the basic version of Adobe Acrobat allows you to do some editing to those, at least convert them from between to a Word document and so forth. All right, so if we go back to the blue file folder, this right here equates to would be equated to your Windows file manager, in that you're able to get to documents and things like that, and you can do some basic file manipulation using that app. Let's see what else. If you go over to the far right, you'll find your date and time, and then the the 9 dots right there. If you click on that, that gives you um, which would be quick access in Windows, where it allows you to be able to turn on your Wi-Fi, turn it off, and do some other things. Plus, to get to the settings. But as you notice, it has um, your Bluetooth, your how you can change your notifications if you want to be able to be notified when certain activities occur on your machine. You can change the light and dark um, mode. Um, plus, and above that, it's just like it's similar to Windows. So you notice the notifications that updates are available. So that's how you get to that. And this is really pretty straightforward, actually. The top one, the bars below, there's 2 pages of this. As you notice, there's 2 dots there where you're on the first page. As you scroll over, you'll be in, that's your second page. And then below that,
Using 2 fingers,
pardon?
touchpad.
Yeah. And then below that is your sound. And on the arrow, as you click that, it gives you additional settings. And then below that is that's the brightness for your screen. It also, if you have a lighted keyboard, you can click on the control key and I'm sorry, Alt key, and that will change your keyboard lighted keyboard settings. If you have a lighted keyboard, so you use the Alt key, and then it would be the 2 brightness keys. One is decrease, and the other one is increase on your in the area where your function keys are.
Yeah, we don't have a lit up keyboard on this one here.
Let me see.
Why don't we maybe open up for other questions that people might have that you could specifically answer?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can you
Yeah.
use the Bluetooth keyboard?
If you're online, if you go to your reactions button and hit the raise hand, I'll know that you've got a question, can call on you, and Adam can call on anybody that's in person that he can see that I can't. Or
Yeah, we have a question here from Adam Jr. wants to know if you can use a Bluetooth keyboard.
Yes. Chromebooks are really pretty flexible. You can plug almost anything into them and they will connect in most cases. So yes, you could use a Bluetooth keyboard. But you have to go over, we were over in that area a while ago where it had Bluetooth. Make sure that your device is capable of having Bluetooth.
Yep. So pairing a Bluetooth device is very similar to Windows.
Right.
Any
Or
other,
if you have a USB, keyboard, you can plug it in. A lot of the Chromebooks, they'll have USB-C ports now. So
yeah,
you have to get an adapter to make that work, but you could plug a USB keyboard in as well.
yeah, this one here has two USB-C ports, one for charging, and then it has two full-size USB ports on it too, so that's pretty handy.
Right.
Any other questions here or on the phone?
David DeRolf had his hand up, but then okay, there's his hands back up again. So David, go ahead and unmute.
I was going to ask about Bluetooth, but that question was just answered. I just thought of another question I'll throw out there. Could an external monitor be connected to a Chromebook?
It would depend on the hardware, whether there's a output for it.
Yeah, I think a lot of USB-C connections are also Thunderport connections, and you can use those for DisplayPort over Thunderport. But you'd have to look at the specs for the specific Chromebook. I think different Chromebooks are going to be different.
I see. Okay.
All right, any other questions online or here in person?
Yeah, I'm sorry that we don't have Gloria here. Gloria is our member that won the Chromebook at the December banquet, so that we could find out from her how she's liking it. But I would really say, if you look at what you do on your computer life, if you are doing things like email, games, video, watching YouTubes, checking your messages, simple things, that the Chromebook is probably the device for you for the ease and the security and everything, the lightweightness, the price. I think it's something to strongly
This
consider.
meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, I think Bill said it very well. It's the perfect couch machine. Not something you'd want to work on 40 hours a week or play hardcore games on, but definitely good for surfing on the couch.
Yeah, well, and I think even for anybody who's sitting at a table like you are with the Chromebook, doing all of your internet type activities, if that's all you do, if you're not going beyond internet activities that much, this is perfect because it's designed for perfect internet integration.
Right. And you have all the,
Go ahead, Bill.
I said you have all the tools. You have a decent browser, and you can use the built-in apps from Google Docs. You have to most of the you can download those to your machine, and then or a flash drive or something like that, and carry them around. So
Yeah.
it's really a nice device for a lot of things.
Yeah, this one you can flip the keyboard completely around and it turns into tablet mode. So you basically have like a Chrome tablet and it disables
Yeah.
the keyboard. Yeah, pretty neat.
Looks like people are getting ready to leave. What about the tickets?
We're not, well, we haven't said thank you and goodbye yet to Bill. Any other questions that we'd want to ask Bill? Sure appreciate his joining us. It's one of our benefits of membership to APCUG. So Bill, thank you very much for
You're most
joining us
welcome. I'm
today.
sorry about all the hiccups.
It's
Man,
technology. you know?
Yep.
Well, usually this is beyond the pale.
Yeah. Yeah, really good. So
Stay
we
on.
like that. And for everybody else, next month is going to be an exciting month because we are planning an open house. We want everybody to come to the church, come see where we are, come see what we do. We're going to be inviting the members of Neil Avenue to know who these people are that are living in their basement. And
Adam, say something.
Yeah, I want to say, will everyone please stay on for the door prize drawing that we're gonna have after?
I'm not going to leave. I'm going to win.
All right.
Adam, say something else about the,
Yeah, about the open house for next month. I don't know if that's official yet. I know Mary Frances has some ballot concerns that she needs to discuss with the executive board here before we say that's an absolute certain thing.
Okay, well then let's thank Bill and then move our excitement to Dave Roush and his miracle tickets.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna stop the recording.